today's show, I have the pleasure of welcoming Suchin Jain, who's going to talk about an interesting situation that happened with ChatGPT. So I'd like to welcome Suchin Jain. Welcome, sir, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, John, for inviting me to your show. It's really a pleasure to connect with you and your audience.
Can you share with our listeners about your background? You have such a fascinating background, all the work that you're doing.
Thank you, June. I work on basically deep technology, and that has been my passion right from my childhood. And I have been last 36 years, I have matured it enough while working on various technologies. I have been working on designing the naval vessels like aircraft carriers, frigates, and then after the Navy, I developed various technologies, almost 70 technologies that many of them I have got patented, and I'm working on them now to create value for the society.
Thank you. Now
Mhm.
let's talk about ChatGPT. A lot of people are familiar with it. Some people aren't. Can you just give a brief explanation of what it is?
ChatGPT is a wonderful tool. Like when I was studying my engineering 36 years back, at that time it was wonder tool for us. We worked on doing the programming, making the expert systems in those times. So it has really developed by now. It has gone beyond the expert systems and where the things can be done, result can be given on the call of a button. You just have to think the question in your mind and it will give you the answer. So it's really exciting to have ChatGPT and AI around us. So it is going to do away with even the Google. We were dependent on Google for so long, for last so many years. When you have a question in mind, it gives you the links, it gives you the answers. But ChatGPT goes beyond that. So it is really mesmerizing to work with ChatGPT. So I started exploring it the moment it was launched, and I started working over many questions, various parts of the work that I do, including programming, developing hardware, uh, doing some research. So I tried ChatGPT everywhere, and many places I got fantastic results. But what surprised me that I could not even get the references to the results it was giving me. So those results I could not verify. And when I'm not able to verify, and how can that result be credible enough, which I can use it further in my work? So that has got me taken aback. And I also learned some of the diseases which the AI could cause in future through an article which was published by ChatGPT handle on LinkedIn. And it got me connected with the issue, and I think that this reason is happening because it is creating a dependency syndrome. When you put up a question and you expect an answer, but in humanity, how we get the answer, which are credible and trustworthy, are first you have an hypothesis, and based on the hypothesis, you carry out your research. Based on the research, you do the experiments, from where you get the results, and from the results, you do the peer reviews, and from then come to the conclusions. So there's so many steps. Whereas in AI, all I found was there is a hypothesis and there is a conclusion. In between steps are missing. There is no references to the in between steps. So what is the credibility? That is a question came to my mind. So personally, I would not like to use any results coming out of ChatGPT in my credible work. Of course, it does guide me, it does help me, but I can't quote it. Like we used to quote various other works when we were doing our research, our articles. So now we can't do it. That is where I feel a chat GPT has, not only chat GPT, the AI must be able to incorporate as a check that whatever data it is mining, whatever conclusions it is giving, it always has a reference. So those reference could be verifiable. Anybody and everybody who wants to get deeper into those conclusions which are produced, he should have the access to those links, to those references from where those conclusions have been derived. Then it will become participative. Suddenly, we will be participating in that, and the dependency syndrome will go away. So it will not cause any mental illness because now we are involved with the work ChatGPT or AI is doing, and then with that work we are feeling enthusiastic. We are doing probing. Our mind is also working, and when our mind is working, we are feeling involved. When we are feeling involved, we are not no more dependent, and not only that. we are evolving into a better human being.
Hmm.
So
My
as a
concern,
society,
oh yeah, of
yes,
course, but as to just piggyback off of what you're saying, a
right.
friend of mine who was studying for her master's degree used some sort of tool that the university made available to her. And she asked me about a particular subject that I'm an expert on. And I couldn't believe that the tool that she was using, I don't know what that tool was, but it may be proprietary. That's probably why. It gave the same responses to her that I had given to her verbally. And I was really blown away by it. But it begs the question, what about medical students? What about people whose research must be original and it must be verifiable because you're talking about the impact on human health? Or even technology where, say, automotive technology where it could put somebody's life in danger, or even technology, take for example the safety of products that babies use. You know, the list goes on and on, but the point is that there must be a check
Right.
and balance. So what are your thoughts on, who should be in charge of the check and balance? How do you think they should go about doing that?
I think humanity has done a great work in bringing out AI. Now, since the first step has been crossed, we must go to the next step, making it safe, making it credible, making it trustworthy. Just like when we have a road, we have a lot of vehicles and we don't have rules of the road, then there'll be accidents are bound to happen. So the AI is growing so fast in the last 4 months, it's growing parabolically. It's growing very, very fast. So in that case, we also have to evolve fast. We also have to put the checks and balances in place much faster so that we are able to make maximum use out of it. AI is not something to be afraid of, but the way we are developing it, that is to be afraid of. If we don't keep checks and balances over there, then definitely we will take humanity into those areas of dependency, areas of depression, areas of various other medical situations, because humans are not feeling involved. Now, the moment you involve humans, so not only you make AI better, you as a society we evolve. We evolve into better human beings. Because there was a time when we have to express my creativity. I'm dependent on so many things. I'm dependent on people. I'm dependent on money. I'm dependent on the work I do, the time it takes. Now all that is compressed by AI into very small time, very small resources required, and I'm able to express myself as a human. I'm able to express myself far greater, far better, much faster. So that is the wings I'm getting out of the AI. But if that be the case, definitely I'll be evolving into a better person by the use of AI. But if I don't involve myself in the decision making, suppose I believe everything what ChatGPT tells me,
Yeah,
then ChatGPT becomes a god for me,
and that's
right? Because I can't
dangerous.
verify it. It is dangerous. And God means whatever God says, you have to believe it, right? But that is not the case. If you have to become a human, if you have to become democratic, if you have to become expressive, then there has to be two-way communication. There has to be a dialogue between AI and humans. The dialogue will happen only when there are references, which can set a human mind thinking whether that references are credible enough, whether they should use it, and what happens if different references are there, how the results or the conclusions would change. Now, can I add some value here? Now, this is what involvement will come in. Once the involvement is there, the bad effects of the AI will go away. So this thing, as you mentioned, this thing can definitely be regulated by people. You don't need any a strong government set of rules. Just like IP, Internet Protocol, it is not being governed by any government. It is open. So similarly, if it is a set of data. Data is being mined, and that mining after mining it is being stored as an information. You can always make it mandatory that along with any data, along with any information, keeping the reference of that particular data or information is mandatory. That's all. That's all. If you do it, then the AI engine will take care of everything else.
I think it'll be interesting to see how things roll out, especially since some of the bigwigs in the AI community are talking about this very subject right now. How can they regulate it? How can they protect people? How can they protect information that has been researched from being exploited for ill reasons or for somebody else's personal gain? You're not only just talking about research, but music, artwork, all sorts of different media and the manipulation of it. So it'll be interesting to see how it pans out. I just want to say thank you so much for being on the show today. Can you share with our listeners your website?
Yeah, thanks, Joe. My website is www.ipanelclean.com and www.innovia.com. So these are the two sites which I operate.
Thank you so much. And I look forward to having you come back to talk about some of your innovative technology that you've created. This has been such a wonderful opportunity to talk about this subject. Thank you. And folks, thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
Jane.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been June Stoyer with That's the Story. Have a great day.